1, 2, 3, 4.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the very first episode of the Trial by Error Variety Show podcast, streaming live from Bandera, Texas. On today's very special episode, we have San Antonio Cypher's founder and rapper, MT. He's got a new EP out called No Days Off. We're going to talk about it with our friend Bo Maddox from L Company Productions. We've also got a live Facebook feed going, so that's something brand new to us, as is this whole podcasting. If there's any glitches, if there's any background noise, it's because we're still working the kinks out. That's really my only disclaimer. We're going to talk about real stuff, and we're going to talk about music. We're going to play some music, and we want you guys to give us some feedback. So without further ado, enjoy the show.
Day ones, never switched up the game ones. I still ride with my day ones, my day ones, my day ones. Keep trying, you ain't us. I still ride with my day ones, my day ones, my day ones. Never switched up the game ones. I still ride with my day ones, my day ones, my day ones. Keep trying, you ain't us. Riding around with my day ones, they rockin' with me, don't say much. We go way back like reruns, since pitching in for the weed funds. Got no time for these weak grunts, kick 'em to the curb and be on our way. Ain't talking moves, nothing else to say. Feeling like I could blow any day, so I grind like I won't see tomorrow. Time is lost and never borrowed. Taking hits is hard to swallow, that's why I lead and never follow. Pushing for more till we get noticed. Bout as a holder, all stay focused. Creating magic like hocus pocus. Leave you inactive right where my flow hits. Team strong as a camel's back. We never lose, don't tell me that. Got a squad of aristocrats, serving haters beef on the table mat. Feeling hungry, come get a slice. Just don't make me have to say it twice. Everything you do comes with a price. Day ones all riding with me day and night. I still ride with my day ones, my day ones, my day ones. Never switched up the game ones. I still ride with my day ones, my day ones, my day ones. Keep trying, you ain't us. I still ride with my day ones, my day ones, my day ones. Never switched up the game ones. I still ride with my day ones, my day ones, my day ones. Keep trying, you ain't us.
All right. Hello and welcome to the Trial by Error Variety Show, episode number 1 for January 2017. Yeah. I am your host, Chaz Nagarat, and in studio today, I've got a co-host, Mr. Bo Maddox from L Company Productions.
That's right, man. L Company in the house, as always, man. And my ass is sticky from the paint.
Yeah, we had a mural done, so his ass is sticking to the chair that I used to prop up the garage door, which is where the mural is. And also...
It's a nice mural, though. It really is.
It's a very
good mural.
It really is.
Thank you.
They set it up for me today, bro. They painted it today. That's an honor.
We had to impress... Julius was here yesterday. We didn't impress him.
No.
But when MT comes... yeah, that's right. We have San Antonio Cypher's founder and owner-operator... head honcho.
Whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, he's the boss. He's a rapper. He's a young dude. He's a very talented dude. We're really happy to have him here in the studio. He's got a new EP out. It's called No Days Off. His name is MT. That's M.T. The Realist. And that's not the realist, it's like there's realer and there's more real, and he's the realist, okay?
I speak it real.
So
there's always the realister.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, they could be. That's why I kept it with the IST. You know, it's not the
humble.
official handle, but it's just something I go by. You know.
Right on.
But like you said, MT SA Cyphers just dropped the No Days Off EP. And I just want to say I'm honored to be here, man, for the first podcast, and I really appreciate y'all for bringing me out, man.
Okay, yeah, no problem.
Of course, we've been listening to it. Nathan, Extract, for those of you that know a little bit of dubstep, Nathan and I hang out. He's from the Cocoon. We've been listening to the No Days Off EP. I don't know if that's mirrored, but non-stop actually for the last 3 days. At first it was kind of like, hey, let's get a little bit of research because we've got Eric coming in, but actually we couldn't turn it off. Like, it's really good, and there's only 6 songs on it. It moves really fast. There's a lot on the album though, as far as versatility. There's a little bit of kind of the day-to-day on there, which I love because it feels like going through a day in the life of. It's not just one struggle, it's not just 2 struggles. Every day has 20 different things, 20 different battles that you have to get through, and at the end of the day you have to somehow sleep through it,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And I love it, man. You got a bunch of different producers on here, and we're going to talk about all that.
All local.
So go ahead and introduce yourself, man. How long have you been doing this? Where are you from? You represent San Antonio, so give us a little bit of insight, man.
Yeah, man. I was born and raised in San Antonio, Texas. I'm 21 years old, so I've been at it for a while already, but not too long. I started out just kind of, to be honest, freestyling in my cousin's closet, hotboxing, trying to be quiet, and went to being in the high school lunchroom ciphers, battling people outside, banging on the trash cans. So, that's kind of how it all started, and everybody kind of just enjoyed what I was doing. They looked forward to me coming out, but I kept it all low key until, a couple of my homies got me into it. I floated around with a couple groups, just making music their way, and just, much love to them, but they helped me find that I wanted to make my own style.
Yeah.
So I invested in my own stuff and, kind of made my own brand and branched out to my own platform.
Yeah,
that's really how I'm here.
The ciphers, awesome. Having the SA ciphers, that's a big deal. I've seen that sticker a lot of places. I'm a local musician, so I play in a lot of clubs. It's some of the places I guess you've been, because I see that cipher sticker places, and it's really cool, man. That's the kind of way us underground people promote, is the stickers, and if you're promoting yourself that way, each sticker stands out. And it was cool to see you promoting that, because I've always thought you were a cool dude, and it took me a while to make the connection. So you got a slick deal, man. Here's how I met Eric. We were doing a battle of the bands, and there was 9 people. 3 of them were paid, and the rest of them, the other 6, were actually competing. And of the 6 that were competing, he got second. And there was a lot of people there. This dude brought a lot of people to the show.
That was my first show.
Yeah, and I didn't know it was his first show because he was so ready to go, and he had his act down, and the tape rolled, and he did his thing, and he got off stage, and his fan base was right at the front of the stage. They were there for a group picture. I took a group picture, and it was amazing. And then he told me, "Yeah, man," I said, "Great job," and he said, "That was my first show."
I have to say, I was there, and it was really impressive, man.
It was.
That was your first show?
I remember you.
God damn.
It was really good. Yeah. And so ever since then, I've been watching you on Facebook, and I watch you promote yourself, and I watch you juggle work, and I watch you do, you put out music, and you put out little things here and there, and you're always getting people hyped up about the ciphers, and I know what that's like, putting on live events, getting people to show up.
Yeah, it can be a nightmare sometimes when you're not prepared,
Mm-hmm. And when people don't show up, you've got you've got people that you got to impress, and so it makes it even harder. And so it's really cool when people tune in, like to stuff like this. It's really cool when people tune into the podcast and the Facebook feeds and stuff, because it actually gives us an idea that people are listening and helps us shape our game. So when people show up to the shows, it's that same thing. There's really no way to critique ourselves if our friends aren't there, if strangers aren't there, and so it was a great thing to see. Such a young dude doing his thing so well and have such a good turnout right at the start. You know, that's a good omen.
Yeah.
So,
I appreciate it.
Yeah, man, and we've known each other for 2 years now almost, and this is what's happening. Got the No Days Off
Has it been that
EP.
long, really?
Yeah.
Jeez.
No Days Off
That
EP.
was back when I dropped my first EP, Vast Passions. There was only like 50 copies, and you probably can't even find that anywhere. Like,
Wow.
He's got a boyish
something I got
video
hidden.
on YouTube. He's got a boyish video on YouTube.
Yeah.
And the song's good, you know, and
long time ago.
it's really cool to see that you're still working at it, man.
Got
Because
some new videos on the way, too, for the No Days Off EP. I know y'all gonna like them, man.
No Days Off. If you want this right here, you can go to iTunes. You can get one. He'll drive it to your house if you live in San Antonio.
Or
Bernie,
surrounding
Helotes,
areas. Forget it.
Selma, Houston,
Man, it's only $5.
Atlanta. If you want one of these, Colorado, right? Trying to make a trip up to Colorado.
I'll
I
ship
think.
it to you for sure, too.
Cool. Awesome, man. It's parental advisory, so kids, hide it from your parents.
It's only on there because it has to be.
Yeah.
Real.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
But we all know that that's always the best albums to buy.
What's
You know,
explicit,
come on.
though? Is it just that there's content that's too real? Because I feel like that's what makes explicit content,
Well,
is kids
yeah.
don't want to... If it doesn't talk about rainbows, candy, and church, then it's explicit. Because you're talking about love, making love. You're talking about smoking. You're talking about... not necessarily you. There's a couple of little
Anybody.
references in there. But
Yeah.
to be explicit, you just have to talk about real shit. So it's explicit in that regard.
it's real, man. I try to keep it, like I said, like a little nickname I gave myself. You know, all my homies, you know, back in high school, we wanted to keep it the realist in our circle. So I just kind of came up with, you know, MT the realist, because I just focus on realism in everything I do.
Yeah. Who did you grow up listening to? Because you're definitely... I'm 31. So my hip-hop was The Roots. I listened to The Roots.
Love the Roots.
Eminem. Oh, man. Sadly, Kid Rock. I considered that hip hop for a while
have
because
told
Devil
me that
Without a
before I
Cause.
showed up,
Devil Without a Cause. Hey man,
Nah, I'm playing.
I'm going platinum. I
we all
think
got
that
our own
fucker did go
preference.
platinum.
He probably did.
Hey,
You know,
at
that's
least
why
it
we know
wasn't
about
like
him.
rolling. It's like,
Hey, well, I
It
kind of
was.
like that track though.
It was.
I can't stand Limp Bizkit. I'm sorry, guys.
One of my
I'm sorry.
deepest regrets is the fact that I was a huge Limp Bizkit fan. I actually won Limp Bizkit tickets to the Anger Management tour where Eminem walked off. He was like, "I'm not finishing this tour." DMX was supposed to finish the tour, and he didn't show up. It sucked because you know who else filled in for him? Godsmack. It was Godsmack
I like
and Limp
Godsmack.
There you
Bizkit.
go. There we go.
DMX went to jail, you guys. He went to jail that night before.
That's not surprising.
But what was really cool for me is I'd never seen a band that played so loud that I saw their equipment hop off the stage for just a split second.
God
Like it
damn.
got so loud that everything went boom for just
Man,
a split second.
you
I've
wanna-
never seen anything like that.
You want to know something? Godsmack is probably the one band that I haven't seen in all my years. I've been to like 4 Ozfests and shit.
I've
so-
seen them 3 times. They're really a strong live act for sure.
on,
But
right
Limp Bizkit played, and their stage act, their set probably cost $500,000. It was a giant robot, and on the right shoulder was DJ Lethal.
Yeah.
Huge like Megatron with shoulder pad type, and then on the other side was John Otto.
Oh, yeah.
And on the bottom, in a cage, like in the where the kidneys are, was Wes Borland. And Sam Bass, was Sam Bass? I don't know.
Yeah.
With the light up bass.
Yeah.
He had another side, and the thing opened
so
up.
they're just in a big old robot.
Giant robot. The whole set. The whole set, dude. Like Cage is almost like, Slipknot kind of puts their dudes on different places.
I
Well,
mean, they're crazy with it, but
But so then Fred Durst came out of the chest, like it lit up, and he came up from underneath, and popped out of the chest, and it was the most insane, elaborate live act.
Sounds pretty dope.
It set the bar because I was 14, man, and I'd never really seen anything. I won tickets to the Rolling Stones, totally different story, but I'd never seen any story like or any set like that, so elaborate. And you don't, and I'm not shitting on rap, but I go to so many hip hop shows, never seen it done like that. Mm-hmm. So I got my hip hop from Limp Bizkit, but dude, they set the bar for, if I go to see a live act, man, what am I gonna see? And it's always just like a banner and a Mac. So that's what you get. You have to kind of take yourself from, I'm gonna go see this amazing performance, to just kind of, I'm gonna sit back and hear a story with a beat. That's kind of how I go into a hip hop show. Is I don't think about like, yeah, man, I'm here to throw my cup up and throw my fingers up. I see a lot of that, and they get in my way. And I'm there to listen to the stories. I'm there to hear what this guy has put down on paper to amplify, the emotions in his life, what he's telling me. And most of the time, it's just cell phones in my way and people throwing their beer up. And I miss when people used to listen to shit, man. I'm going to get a big long stick and knock cell phones out of hands next show. Because you got a story.
Yeah, exactly.
How do you feel like you tell your stories? Do you feel like it takes you a long time to write them, or do you feel like when you sit down with a beat, you kind of know, I'm going to talk about this on this beat? Do you feel like...
Well, a lot of the time when I'm going to have a writing session, it's just a certain period in my life, and I'm feeling a certain way, man. And I might write it without a beat and, form it later, or have the idea already kind of plotted out. Or I might just go in there with a certain vibe and have a list of beats I already have ready and, say, all right, I'm vibing this way. And just write, or maybe even, freestyle. Sometimes I don't even write my lyrics, to be honest. I'll just sit and freestyle a few bars, see if I like it, keep it, perfect it, hit a few others, and re-record my whole verse. That way y'all get the raw emotion and raw content that I might have written down and deleted later, being like, nah, not that. Seriously. But once it's recorded and I hear how I wanted it to sound, I'm like,
I
you gotta keep it.
I find that to be a really typical approach when it comes to producing rap music. Actually, it's like it's really just more organic. Mm-hmm. It really is.
Having said that, that's the kind of emotion that you're just rolling with, right?
Yeah,
you just keep rolling with the emotion until you get a good hip hop song, right?
I hate you, Fred Durst. Damn you.
How long did it take you to make this No Days Off EP? And not how long did it take you in days? How long did it take you while juggling a work schedule? Because I know that you work. I know that you have a normal 9 to 5. So, what was it like working there and doing this?
Well, I don't really let it interfere too much. It's just a lot of sleepless nights, man, going to bed, 4 to 3 hours of sleep and then waking up and working. But I'm kind of used to that, and I'll be with a lot of people that are probably doing the same thing, but they're wanting to work on this because they know what we're building, a foundation here. Mm-hmm. And I got a lot of homies that are down with it. So, it didn't really take that long once I had a foundation of what I wanted to make it on. And it's what I realized is that I was working so many days in the schedule. I was actually working 7 days a week with 2 different jobs. And I realized that it wasn't really helping me in the studio with my music monetarily and stuff the way I thought it was. It was taking away time. And that's why on the cover, you see me turned away from my real passion, falling asleep because I'm lost in time. You can see the clock melted on the side. It really has a deep meaning to it.
I felt that, man. I definitely love the album cover.
To really answer your question, it probably took me about a month once I knew what I wanted to do. And recording-wise, probably like 2 weeks once I had everything like plotted out what I wanted to do.
Wow, that's great, man. That's a lot faster. It took me a long time to make an album. It takes me a long time to write. So impressive that you had an idea, you went in there and you just tackled it. That's a cool way of writing.
But that doesn't bring in the time it took for me to go and meet up with my producers, talk to them, build relationships with some singles I dropped beforehand. That's not adding that time up as well.
That's what I mean. There was stuff in between this and the other EP that were just sort of free stuff here and there. I know you strayed away a little bit from the SoundCloud because the SoundCloud, it's a way to showcase your music. It's a way to get your free content out there. You can't really get punished if you're putting samples and stuff out because it's
made
sort of
for that.
Yeah,
I mean,
but
anything.
I noticed the No Days Off EP is not on there, and that's because it has a value that as a growing artist you've come to recognize. And that's great. That's great that you've recognized that, and I think it's really important when people do actually go out and they pay the $5-6 for something instead of just stealing it off the internet. SoundCloud is great. You can stream music all day. And Spotify is cool, but you pay Spotify. If you want this EP, or you want your favorite band's EP, your brother's band, your whoever, go straight to iTunes and buy that, because that goes back into the artist's pocket, and it's still on Spotify, it's still on Pandora, it's still on whatever. But if you really want to support the artist that you love, it's really important that you do that. And it's also important for artists to recognize that not everything is free. And that, I worked really hard on this, and that, what you do in your 9 to 5 adds up to money made, So this may never add up to money made for you, but for your fans, this is a way for them to support you, is looking at this. And you guys, this actually is a beautiful CD.
It's funding the next project, man.
It's gorgeous. I'm a collector of the CDs, so this will be riding in my car for years and years to come. It's got some pictures of some really tall trees, probably some pines.
That's why I write little notes to people, man, if they ask me to. Come on. Don't dog me about it.
No, this is where I find myself. And hip-hop in the woods, that's not an uncommon thing for me.
It almost looks like a typo negative album.
They formed maybe a little circle that they wouldn't have before.
So I love that, man. An unintentional collaboration.
Yeah, well, that's what SA Cyphers is really all about. It's a marketing company, so and marketing and networking. So I want to build relationships between artists, venues, and business owners in San Antonio and surrounding areas. So I just think it's great to bring people together that might not be able to come together by their own means, kind of build a bridge for them.
That's great, man. I love the idea of tying in circles, because not everything works together in that way. The more people that book shows, the more people that manage. Your manager, he may be cool now, but he may not always work out for you. And the guy that books shows,
I turn into an asshole a lot, bro.
Yeah,
for real.
And
because I'm the manager you're talking to. So
if you're managing yourself, that's another thing. You need to know people that book shows, because those guys get winded. And you were talking about earlier during our private session. We were talking about anyway.
2020 got all the beat.
Eyes closed, it feels like time slows. Ride the high notes, where the vibe goes. Lonely desperado when I write flows. Life's a slideshow, tried to where the light glows. Never paid mind to the opposition, or all the fakes lane switching. Keep it cool and walk the line, and act a fool when it's time. Still moving, keep the grind rolling. Doubters still trolling, enemies patrolling. Wanna catch me slipping like the wet for signs missing. But I got the vision of a pilot on a mission. There's no way to stop us now. Got the block like holy cow, putting in the major work. About time we get to chow. Hear me and you raise your brow. Keep it real, I always vow. God bless my enemies, hating I just disallow. Let it ride, 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 let it go, let it go. It's still moving, still moving, still moving, still moving, still moving, still moving, still moving. Let it ride, 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 let it go, let it go. It's still moving, still moving, still moving, still moving, still moving, still moving, still moving. Still riding with my homies all day ones. Haters laughing at me like they won. But when the fans are clapping, they stay stunned. Turning enemies to ashes like a ray gun. I've been working hard, I've been working long. No stopping once I start writing down a song. Always moving far, rule the road tomorrow. Or the boulevard I'm bestowed upon. Pressure's building to the ceiling, moving fast as ever. With the power that I'm wielding, I could rap forever. At night, catch me kneeling, asking God for better. Regardless, I stay riding in this rainy weather. Hate will infiltrate vibes I create. Fate will reinstate lies either way. Stay true, never trolling, I don't like a gimmick. That's why I'm rolling up and riding with it. Let it ride, 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 let it go, let it go. It's still moving, still moving, still moving, still moving, still moving, still moving, still moving. Let it ride, 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 let it go, let it go. It's still moving, still moving, still moving, still moving, still moving, still moving, still moving. Yeah. Just out here doing what I do best. Keeping it real and riding with whatever's thrown at me. Let it ride, let it ride, let it ride. Still moving, still moving, still moving.
Roll, baby.
All right, MT. Tell us how the production of your new EP came to be. I mean, you did kind of tell us who produced your beats, but who recorded your vocals and who mixed everything?
Well, yeah, I told you, as far as the beat goes, you know, I had 2020 on 3 of the 6 tracks.
Yeah.
I had Young Hunna on one of them that he personally reached out to me, and we worked together and collaborated on that one. He felt that, you know, I'd be a good artist to work with on that beat he made. And then I got Almari as well on 2 tracks. So,
right on.
You know, as far as the recording goes, man, to be honest, I got my own makeshift sound equipment.
Oh, yeah.
I got my closet, you know, it's all soundproof. And, you know, if I'm so happen to be at my girl's place, you know, you might be listening to a song that I recorded in a bathroom closet at my girl's place, just being real with you. You know,
Eli says kill it, MT.
Of course, brother. I appreciate you, Eli. But, you know, and as far as mixing goes, I used to mix all my own stuff, and I wouldn't say it was even mixed, because what I did is I got on FL Studio, and I played with what I found out on YouTube and have read online and in books.
Yeah, that's a very valuable resource, honestly. Lots of tutorials, I mean, especially on gear, on mixing techniques, on editing, like all of that. Like, I highly recommend. That's a great resource.
It just wasn't crisp enough for me and for my abilities, you know? I still record most of my own vocals. I like to get in, you know, more high-tech and better studios as well. My homie Andrew Escueta, he actually mixed it all. And nice. I think he did a real good job.
Oh, it is fantastic.
I third that, yeah.
Was able to do anything that I pretty much asked him to do with my sound. Right. And he helped me develop it for sure.
Yeah. Real quick, what type of equipment you use in your studio?
Well, you know, of course, you know, I had to upgrade from back in high school days from the USB mic. And, you know, of course, I got an analog mic and an interface. I use the Scarlett 2i when I'm on the go.
Oh, man, those Focusrite preamps, jeez.
Yeah, I mean, it's a really good preamp. And at the same time, it was cheap and it's pretty sturdy, so I can take it around wherever I want.
Yeah.
You know, I got my own PreSonus speakers, mixing speakers.
I got PreSonus speakers, too. Probably the same thing you have, honestly.
There you go. And then Audio Technica microphone.
Oh, that's always good. Right on. All right. What is your overall process to recording your music? Let's take us through like a typical session in your studio. Like,
Well, first I gotta hit up the homie and make sure we get our mind right, chill.
Yeah.
It has to be a good day, bro, or, I have to be feeling either mad or driven about something. I don't usually hop in the studio or set up an equipment somewhere or do anything unless I'm really feeling it. So what I do, I go meet up with producers that I think have a great sound, and I collaborate with them, or I just get beats. I ransack beats pretty much from my producers that I like, and I save them up for when I'm feeling it. So I set up or go to the studio, and I just I spit, man. I don't really go in there planning it. I just write my stuff if I want to. Sometimes I'll freestyle it. It doesn't really matter, just when I'm feeling it.
Wow.
That's an interesting process, because I know when you have to fish through a lot of, how do you know this is the beat? You know what I mean? Because a lot of that stuff at an instrumental level must all start to kind of sound the same. And you have to really decide, what's going to be, what sounds more organic, even though it's electronic. What sounds timeless, even though it's digital from right now? How do you pick through that process? What's your end all when you decide this is the beat? What's that element, man?
Yeah. Well, I look for whatever sound is going to complement me the most, and whatever pretty much theme I have for my new project or single I'm thinking of, or any types of vibes I'm having, anything that really hits me. I feel like I have an ear for whether the producer mixed the beat pretty well, or how it's going to sound with me and how I can go on it, because I've had a lot of people teach me how to go with certain sounds and change my voice to hit certain beats and mix with them, so the process of that, it's really just all on the fly, man.
Cool, man. Cool.
Straight up. How do you approach your phrasing and your wordplay? How does that work into your flowing?
Well, I like to put in a lot of different rhyme schemes.
Yeah.
I probably couldn't really tell you literature-wise what the rhyme schemes I'm using are. But I kind of make up my own. I think everybody has seen that video. I forget which Eminem song it even is, where the dude on YouTube, he actually puts all his lyrics on the
tapes it on the wall and everything.
Yeah, and it shows almost every word in the song rhymes. I don't get as close as him, but I try my best to make as many words rhyme with each other and flow off each other as I can. So
that's a struggle. When did you when you started learning rhyming as a kid? You were one of those kids that really sat down and it took to that.
Yeah. Actually, it was a lot of short stories at first.
Eli says, not about the beat, it's about the message that fits the song. That's where MT kills it.
Hey. I appreciate that. See, Eli's one of the homies that appreciates the real, man. That's why me and him get along, bro. That's my homie.
Word up, man.
And it's true, because we've listened to your stuff. Nathan, Extract, my boy. He's sitting over here quiet off to the side.
I'm just listening, man. I'm just listening.
On the amplifier.
Straight up.
We were talking about this, It is important that, because a lot of the beats do come from a digital place where there's a lot of the same hands get on that. But the one thing that is different is your message.
Yeah.
And
I just want to say every piece of production on this EP is original, 100% exclusive.
Awesome.
Except maybe a few samples. There are some samples, but all these beats I have or any production is all exclusive.
Yeah.
So
care to go into what those samples are?
Well, not really.
Not really. Okay. That's cool. That's fine.
It's whenever you're writing a story. You're writing a song, do you use a lot of metaphors? Is that something that you try to use more of as you continue to write?
Yeah.
I know it's because that's more of how it's sprinkled into hip hop. That's definitely how you build a rhyme scheme, is you build metaphors, It's hard to be abstract and real at the same time. Yeah. And that's I
sometimes
think, a real good art. That's why hip hop is such a beaut.
I think the way to accomplish that, dude, is just mix it with alliteration and a lot more imagery and personification.
Just being on point. Yeah. More direct with who you are, hitting the metaphors towards who you are. Not trying to just hit them because they rhyme.
Yeah.
That really feels like me, And so those become... I feel like those metaphors become subjective to that writer. You know, like there's certain things I'll think of, certain lines from rappers that I'll think of, and if I hear like that animal out in the world and they've put that animal in a really good line, I'll think about that rapper.
Yeah.
You know, and because it was kind of personification. You know, yeah.
Well, I think it also kind of goes back to the old like kind of showbiz or writing adage. You know, show don't tell. You know. I mean, in a way, you got to kind of show what you're talking about. In a way, I mean, even in something that's as direct and talkative as rap music, you know, I mean, you still kind of got to show something as well as tell it, you know.
Yeah, that's why I stay away from all the mainstream sound, because I notice a lot of these guys out there, most of them are fake.
Yeah,
almost. You know, I can't.
So a lot of it's just like studio trickery.
Yeah, I mean, most of it. So
good
I just feel like I want to bring more realism and truth to hip hop, and I wouldn't even say all of it's rap. I say it's just independent hip hop, man, like a new subgenre.
Right on, man.
You do say I'm not. Autotune is definitely not a tool to be overused.
It is always overused most of the time.
But there is a track, I'm not exactly sure which one it is on the album. It's one of my favorite tracks.
Take It From Me, but it's actually not auto-tune.
Yeah, but the way it's recorded, it's one of the only songs where you use that effect. Kid Cudi, Childish Gambino, it reminds me of a Gambino track. It's got a very serious connotation to it, but it's you on that track, man. It's very unique to you, and I loved that part of the Gambino track, and I really like how you used it. It was just it's a cool part, because the whole track is done like that. It's just a little bit of it.
There's actually a shift in that verse. That's why I wanted it. I told my buddy Andrew Escueta, the guy who was my engineer, I told him, I don't want to use auto-tune, but I want you to make me sound different, man. Make this pop out a little more as a shift in the song, and I think he did that.
It's kind of a megaphone, but not. It's more like a megaphone through a train tunnel.
Oh, I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah, that's a pretty easy effect to get, actually.
Yeah, it's a cool song.
I'm the rap gargantua. Other dudes aren't man enough to stand with tough mugs on camera, us flaring up the amateur. I'm a campaign damager, and I demand a turn to give the fans I earn a new jam to burn. Sick of what they heard, they need a breath of fresh air. It's just unfair to feed them bullshit. Some did not care, but this is for who did. Making a new grid, I know I feel off it. I've been exhausted, looking for topics, ran out of options. Wanted to drop quick, glad I survived it. Good times arriving, steady been striving for what I'm deserving. Now it's emerging, the power of the pen devoured in my hand. The universe open, the universe open. Created my flow, can't take it from me. Did it on my own, can't take it from me. Found my zone, can't take it from me. They used to hate me, but now they love me. Created my flow, can't take it from me. Did it on my own, can't take it from me. Found my zone, can't take it from me. They used to hate me, but now they love me. I'm a new sensation, leading the nation. All orientations are God's creation. Deserving the same, no matter relation. Preserving the flame without hesitation. This message is mine, spreading it far with this endless grind and these deepened scars. One of a kind, like a custom car, plowing through no matter who you are. The door's finally opened, I know who I am. Don't belittle a fan to feel like more of a man. Need every one of y'all just to show me I can. Come up from the bottom with a devious plan. Cooped up for months to give you what you need. Don't want a response, just let me plant this seed. It's my job to get you up to speed, but if you're coming for my spot, then you're coming for me. At 13, I knew I was chosen. Before I had the balls to let it be known, and jotting down bars that would never be spoken. Not every word I say gets my enemies roped in. When haters run their mouth, I find it funny. Used to feel the weight, never saw it coming. Now I'm forming waves, can't take that from me. Created my flow, can't take it from me. Did it on my own, can't take it from me. Found my zone, can't take it from me. They used to hate me, but now they love me. Created my flow, can't take it from me. Did it on my own, can't take it from me. Found my zone, can't take it from me. They used to hate me, but now they love me.
Yeah, it's a cool sound for sure.
All right, we already kind of went into what this next question is, but so I'm going to go on to this one. Like, other
I
than
like how you've got all your questions on paper.
yeah, I know, right?
He's ready.
I'm ready. I'm prepared.
I'm honored.
Yeah, I got to
He's
prepare.
not just gonna bullcrap this, bro.
Oh yeah,
He
yeah.
wrote
man.
it down.
Now, other than the producers that you worked with, like, what are some of your favorite hip hop producers and beat makers? What's one of your favorite albums as far as production is concerned?
You know what? We actually talked about this earlier, and my buddy Ian, if he ever sees this, he's gonna probably like come all the way down from Cali to hit me in the back of the neck because I'm saying this. But you know, we talked about it earlier. But the MF Doom and Madlib album that they put together, Mad Villainy, I have to say that's one of my favorite production albums, bro.
So lush.
But you know, as of right now, you know, I really like that new Kid Cudi album. I thought the production and the way his vocals mixed to everything, you know, he inspired me actually to make another project or another single or something, you know. I feel like he, I like the way his production and mixing have been. Probably in the past year, just to give you some more background, I'd say To Pimp a Butterfly has had the best production I've heard in a long time.
That would be Kendrick Lamar, right?
Yeah.
Straight up, man.
Kendrick.
Straight up. Yeah, he's doing some good stuff right now, man. Like, I mean, I've always kind of gravitated towards East Coast stuff, you know.
Okay.
Like, you know, like I do like, you know, like Wu-Tang Clan. It's like that's always been like, you know, RZA and the Jizza. Mm-hmm. Fuck yeah, man. They're the best. I know it's funny saying their names.
Laughing. Nah.
Yeah, that's their names, man. You gotta
We're about
actually
to stand up, bro.
RZA and Jizza, man. Come on, man.
Just boast like he's got a Slayer
It's like, I mean,
shirt on.
I know, right? I got a Slayer shirt on and talking about good rapping.
Hey, man, I love rock too, bro.
I know.
So
Yeah.
it's all about
That's what's
music.
so great about the being in such a wide range of music nowadays.
Yeah,
is it doesn't matter what era you came from. There's no excuse. Like the only excuse is I don't have time, or I haven't caught up to that yet. But somebody that loves Slayer can always love Slayer and still find Wu-Tang and still find MT.
Well, dude,
Because music is timeless.
seriously,
Yeah,
I've
it's so
listened.
beautiful
I've listened
now.
to everything
The
from the
access.
Eagles to Green Day to Morbid Angel to Dimmu Borgir to fucking like Anti-Flag, Bad Religion, and stuff. Like I've listened to everything. You know.
What other music besides hip hop inspires you?
Yeah, good question.
Man, you know, y'all probably gonna make fun of me, but a lot of the old, like, maybe 80s and 70s, like, you know, I don't even know what they called it, but, you know, that low rider, you know?
It's kind of
You know,
that's kind of technically classic rock.
Yeah, and it was almost like an old
You're talking
techno.
about War. You're talking about War. That's the band.
Old techno,
Yeah.
you know, I liked a lot of the stuff my mom used to listen to, man. Some old school
Ace
stuff.
of Base.
Ace of Base.
No, you're not ringing the bell, but
I saw signs.
Opened up my eyes, I saw the
nah, you ain't got me.
Oh man, that's 90s
Nah, but
shit.
to go
man.
on
That's
another
90s
note, you
shit.
know, like Kiss, Metallica. We talked about Godsmack earlier.
Godsmack was great.
You know, I love the Beatles. I had their discography at one point where I listened through all that. I like Pink Floyd. You've gone through their discography. You know, I listen to it all. I love it all. And
sweet, man.
the only thing I can't really get onto is too much country. I love a lot of the Texas country. Jack Johnson, I think, and
Yeah.
Jack Johnson's from Hawaii, but
well, I know, but Tim McGraw is who I was going for next. Jack Johnson, Tim McGraw, and
dude, there's a really
you know,
good Texas country. Well, it's so much.
I saw Willie Nelson live, and I have to say he was impressive, but he almost put me to sleep at ACL this past year. He's so old, man. We were all just praying
Is
he got off
doing
the
Amazing
stage.
Grace?
You know what?
He usually does Amazing
He might have
Grace
when I
every
was
day-
asleep.
Every
I took a nap because he had like a 40-minute set, so I kind of I was laid down in my blanket just hanging out, and then I woke up, you know. And,
I mean,
he's got to take it easy on himself. He's 85.
yeah, man, we were all just
seriously.
hoping he made
You
it
know
off.
he's high as fuck, you know. So even with a sativa, he's still, you know, pretty tired. That's
got-
the
you got-
age.
it would
But,
stand to reason.
Hey, man, I saw the Strokes at ACL. Speaking
Really?
of that, and that was the
Really?
most boring thing I've ever seen. The
Really?
Strokes,
Really?
The Strokes are literally
No.
the
The
most
Strokes?
boring stage act. Yeah, I love the Strokes. I was very unimpressed.
Well, what was
with live
the
show.
what was the problem with it?
I think the whole live show is for them to completely stand there
Oh,
and not move about.
No, you see,
As though they just shot up.
to do that, you have to
and
have...
they're trying not to fall over.
To do that
kind
and
of
pull it
standing.
off, you have to have monumental stage presence. Like John Entwistle from The Who, he did that. He just stood in front of his bass amp. But man, he had stage presence for days.
This was sunglasses at night. And they were headlining. So I mean, they were literally the last act on Sunday night ACL.
Wow.
And I was just bored as hell at that show.
Wish you would have beat the traffic.
Yeah, I was working it. So I worked for a
that's
security
dope.
company, and I was actually in the barricade. So I was spoiled. Drake the night before, 21 Pilots that day, and
nice,
just
nice.
ASAP Rocky. So
Wait, what year was this? 2 years ago?
2 years ago,
Dude,
yeah.
I was there.
Yeah.
No shit.
Yeah.
I was in the barricade.
No.
I didn't take any
Hey,
pictures.
but why I got it on my mind though, man? Because thinking of big shows, and I wanted to make sure I make this announcement if y'all don't mind.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
January 21st at Fitzgerald's off McCarthy Road. We got our R.A. the Rugged Man. He's coming through with his definition of a rap flow tour. Him and Afro,
Nice.
All Flows Reach Out, are coming through to Fitzgerald's. I think the online ticket link is still going to be on the Facebook event page. You just look up
We'll post it
R.A.
on
the
our
Rugged
page.
Man.
We'll post it on our page with this episode of the podcast. The link to that show will be in this in the abouts.
Yeah.
Comments,
And
whatever.
for
We'll
sure.
put it
We'll-
The
somewhere.
show notes. so to
As
speak.
will the link to the No Days Off EP, which is out now on iTunes and available all over the world. As long as you can talk to Mr. MT right here, he can ship it wherever.
Or you can look it up wherever too. I'm gonna put it on YouTube for free and not too long, man. I'm gonna give it about 2 weeks to 3 weeks just so everybody can support, and then I'm gonna put it out for free.
And
Sweet.
Eli says, no stage presence kills any live show, no matter the genre. And that's right, dude.
Exactly, yeah,
It doesn't
totally.
matter how much they're getting paid. It doesn't matter how big and
Yeah.
how long they've been around. If they don't want to be there, it kills a show.
Yeah.
And
yeah, exactly.
And so that's what's I found that a lot actually, and I've gone to see a lot of really big bands and have just found myself really bored. Willie Nelson, 85 years old. You figure the guy would have it down by now.
Yeah,
He's
well,
putting people to sleep.
right.
You know.
I mean,
Jeez, man.
bless his heart though.
Yo, yeah, man. We need him, man. We need him.
But the thing about the Strokes is they were probably fucked up, man. And a lot of performers, a lot of really professional performers don't perform that way.
Yeah, seriously.
Nikki Sixx drank heroin from a fire hose, but he performed, and his stage presence was amazing.
Yeah, it was incredible how he could pull that off, man. Jeez, even dying once.
I don't think that's a bar to set for you.
No,
That's
no, it's
weird
not.
stuff.
No.
He doesn't really.
Well, the
That's
80s
Nick-
music was a weird
That's actually a
thing.
Nick Swardson joke. I'm not. I'm not gonna take credit for
I'm glad
Okay,
you cleared that
okay.
up because I'd be spreading some rumors for a while.
The exact
shit.
joke is, he goes, man, you ever think you're a badass? You come home from a hard night of drinking and you turn on VH1 and you see behind the music and, I just drank 18 beers and Nikki Sixx just drank heroin from a fire hose. I'm a pussy.
Wah, wah, wah.
Yeah. So that's derived. Nick Swardson, hilarious comedian, doesn't need any help promoting himself, so yeah. Anyway, we are here with MT, and we should probably wrap this up, you
Yeah,
guys.
I have one more question. Just one?
I'm just kidding.
All right. Where do you see hip hop going in the near future in regards to production values?
Oh man, dude, I feel like we all can see that the trap music probably isn't going anywhere for a while.
Yeah, seriously.
Production value is just going to get a little bit more saturated with the same 808s and trap type beats,
I'm getting sick
those
and
same
tired of
hi-hats, but I think that also opens up in the next decade a new window for a whole new genre. So, in the very short term, I see it still saying saturated. It's still saturated as it is. But pretty soon here, I think a lot of windows are going to be open for new sounds. So
Yeah, I think that some of the production values might kind of become a little more stripped down in the near future. They'll become a little darker.
Really?
That's what
That's
I
my
kind of
dog,
see.
Pluto.
Yeah.
You can hear
Hey,
him.
Pluto. That's kind of where I see it going. It's kind of. Because, you kind of see that with music every now and again. It becomes really, really, really overproduced for a little while, and then it just kind of, becomes more real and more organic and more stripped down. You know,
It's just a circle, man.
yeah, it's
People
it's
are gonna
it's a
want new
continuum.
eventually.
Well,
Yeah.
here's the thing, though, man, about that is
Yeah.
people who really want and crave that true hip hop, that
Yeah.
authentic flavor, they're gonna find it at shows. They're gonna find
That's
it
true.
going to local
That's true.
shows.
That's true.
They're the opening acts. You know.
Yeah.
Those are the guys that are out there still spilling their guts. They're still wearing their heart on their sleeve.
And they're barely even getting any recognition
And
for
they're
it.
not getting any
Yeah.
recognition on tour, perhaps, but social media is a giant movement in itself, you know. Being able to do this live stream, being able to put your stuff on iTunes, all that stuff, touring is a perk, you know. So
Yeah,
if you ever catch yourself on tour with a great artist, you know, just find yourself thankful. You know,
Yeah.
that's why I always feel like if you're not making any money, you know, you're going everywhere. You're doing things that normal people dream about doing, even if you're working all day and you're sleeping on a bus. It's something that your fans need, and it's something that you need to do as an artist. So
You have to experience some of that, man.
Yeah,
I've
so-
experienced a lot of things like that already. You know, it's great to
I
go
really
through
hope
those.
that you get to go on tour, and I really hope that you
Appreciate
get
that.
That
recognized
would be
by
a-
the industry that deserves an
great
artist like you,
experience.
because I feel like you're writing a lot of really good stuff, man. You're young, and you're living life, dude. You know, you're not sitting at home, you're not mooching off anybody. You're a great dude. I can vouch for that. And I barely know you. This is just from following you through the networks, man. I see what you're doing, and I see you working hard at it. And I'm glad that we're all able to sit here together and have this conversation. Thank you to all of our listeners who are supporting us and downloading our stuff, subscribing to us on Stitcher, iTunes, SoundCloud, wherever you're subscribing to us, watching us here on Facebook Live. It's awesome, man. And
Hell yeah.
I wish you the best of luck, MT, and
Appreciate
it.
thank you so much for bringing all of your wisdom to us.
Hey, I just want to send some shout outs to some of my favorite podcasts, man. I want to send a shout out to We Hate Movies, to The Majority Report with Sam Cedar, Faculty of Horror. Check all those podcasts out. They are totally awesome. They are
good
legit.
podcasts, yeah,
Yeah,
legit.
those are all legit, man. Much
All
love.
right, awesome. And so with that, we're going to go ahead. I'm going to show you one more time the EP. This is the No Days Off EP by Mr. MT, San Antonio Cyphers. Go check him out live, you guys. He's got some shows coming up. I'm going to post all that on the Trial by Air page with this podcast episode. It'll be in the show notes as well. You can go to fromthecocoon.com to see the episode, and if you're gonna watch the full stream, we'll have it up here in just a few minutes, uploaded onto the Facebook. You can watch it again and again. We want to thank you so much for your participation, Eli and William and Laramie and Nathan and Booker and everybody that tuned in. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you much.
Mom and Dad for letting me use the garage. And yeah, we wouldn't be what we are without a really awesome fan base. So thank you guys for sharing and showing your support. So we're going to put the soul back in the music for sure, Pops.
You can't do for yourself what the white man is doing for himself. Don't say you're equal with the white man. If you can't set up a factory like he set up a factory, don't talk that old equality talk. Who are you? You don't know? Don't tell me Negro. That's nothing. What were you before the white man named you a Negro? And where were you?
Still pushing for equality. For the blacks and the whites to live in harmony. But what's the resolution, man? It's always dogging me. It could be revolution, that's why up to God I plead. Sinking to the lowest, dropping to my knees. Woke up in a private land, we ain't living free. Lies fill our lives behind a disguise. If you're different, you're despised. But as a unit, we will rise. Take your homie's hand, whether he be black or white. You don't think that's right? Then our culture's been deprived. Formed and molded into some stuck-up bitches. That's what's wrong with us, we're all scared to be different. So we ridicule our peers by the tone of their pigment. But what's the damn difference? Tell me, what am I missing? Why I gotta judge you by the color of your skin? Why I gotta hate you when you should've been my kin? Tell me.
You don't know. Who are you? You don't know.
Why I gotta judge you by the color of your skin? Why I gotta hate you when you should've been my kin? Tell me. Why I gotta judge you by the color of your skin? I'm pushing for equality. They scared of equality. They scared of equality. Yeah, I'm pushing for equality. They scared of equality, but that's the way it's gotta be. I'm pushing for equality. They scared of equality. They scared of equality. Yeah, I'm pushing for equality. They scared of equality, but that's the way it's gotta be.
You can't do for yourself what the white man is doing for himself. Don't say you're equal with the white man. If you can't set up a factory like he set up a factory, don't talk that old equality talk. Who are you? You don't know? Don't tell me Negro. That's nothing. What were you before the white man named you a Negro? And where were you?
Still pushing for equality. In a world where no one listens, feel like Socrates. Got cops killing people, getting paid leave. You hear that? Sounds like another shot to me. I ain't never been the dude to go and speak on shit, but I'll never sit back and let the evil win. The system's doing us wrong, they just play with us. How can I trust the law when they're dangerous? Who are we as a race? Does anybody know? Take a hard look at my face, you'll see I'm white as snow. But by God's grace, I got a taste of where to go and possibly set the pace to help us all grow. So accept me as your family. We ain't got a plan B. I'm backed against the wall and it's time to let the fans see. There's no perfect world. Stop living in a fantasy. Instead of working hard and being bold, we speak of vanity. Spreading violence and profanity. You aren't understanding me. It's messing with my sanity. I'm sicking with humanity. The world is going downhill. I get the chills, my emotions spill. Had to tell you how I feel. My biggest fear is not being able to make a change. We need to come together no matter the race and age. We're all slaves now, mentally stuck in a cage. The tension's building while we're just here watching the gauge.
Well, everybody, that wraps it up for episode 1 of the Trial by Error Variety Show podcast. A very special thanks to MT, who spent a few hours being a goofball with us. I appreciate you putting up with us. And thank you to all of the folks here on Facebook who tuned in and sent your little hearts across the screen and the little flying thumbs. That was really cool. Thanks for commenting and getting involved. I want to thank a few people that helped me put this on. Bo Maddox from L Company Productions. You guys can find him on Twitter and Facebook. His Twitter handle is L Company Music. L Company Productions on Facebook. I also want to thank Stacy Clark, who did a little bit of research for me and helped me get a hold of some people and put this podcast together. She also cooked pizza for us tonight. That was really cool. And Nathan Extract, who has been sort of helping me out with the sound, getting this thing up all week so that we can get the quality that we have. I know it's not the best. We will get better. And we also want to thank you guys who are subscribing to the podcast, listening on iTunes or YouTube or whatever, for giving us that. If you will do one more thing and go rate us however you can, leave some comments with some good feedback, put some stars in some empty star holes, and just talk about what you want to hear in there, and we will be sure to read those, and so will other people who want to find musical podcasts.